There is a growing interest in quantifying and lowering environmental burdens as a result of climate change and other negative environmental impacts. The difficulty is, however, how to quantify and eliminate environmental responsibilities. Carbon footprints has almost entirely been employed as an environmental protection indicator in recent years. Other footprints have been included in evaluations, but there is no universally approved footprint or footprint family that represents the entire environmental impact. A marine system is a complex multimedia environment that may be separated into three primary compartments, namely air, water, and sediments. Subcompartments such as suspended solids and biota in the water column and solids and water in the sediment compartment are found in these bulk compartments. Weathering or the alteration of oil is linked to a number of physiochemical and biological processes. The maritime transportation sector is extremely fragmented. Lloyd's Register websites boast of having nearly 140,000 ships and 170,000 ship owner and manager entries. The control structure of a single vessel may contain many businesses registered in different countries in order to take advantage of variance in national tax laws, financial incentives, and operational requirements.
Maritime transport refers to a means of transport in which goods or persons are transported by sea. The main transport for the global trade is ocean shipping. Around 90% of transport goods are carried over by the sea. Maritime transport network has given implication to the global issue of the carbon footprint emission resulting from shipping transport activities through the release of the greenhouse gases carbon monoxide into the air through the release of the toxic fume by each transport of the various type of shipping using sea route to the conduct voyage to the transport goods and people. This situation will give various problems as a result of the increase of the carbon gas into the air, which will cause air pollution due to oxygen mixed with toxic gas because by ship using fossil of navigation activity. It also dangerous fossil oil can cause problems that will occur such as marine pollution as a result of the release of the carbon footprint gas into the air. Maritime transport that contribute to the marine pollution is the due of the increasing number of ships using the sea as a mean transport in trade, which increase the carbon footprint and has implication for the marine pollution will cause carbon gas has increased at the air and will cause and increase the temperature has a negative effect on the sea surface temperature that will affect to marine life. Acidification of water will also occur, which will change the pH value of the seawater, causing coral bleaching due to the soft marine due to the drastic change in the seawater.
The research objective in our assignment. The first one is to find out the issues to reduce the carbon footprint of maritime transport operations on marine environment. Second one is to determine the challenge to reduce the carbon footprints of maritime transport operations on marine environment.
The details of the method used to conduct this study is to use qualitative data method approach, and secondary data are external resources such as journals, books, newspaper, and also the internet will be used to obtain the data and information because the technique is suitable for this study and also suitable for the current issue of the COVID-19 pandemic. Secondary data is the best method. Technique is helping us to get the latest data from the Malaysia Marine Department UNTAC, Ministry of Transport (MOT), and the other resources that help in collecting data related to the issue of reducing of the carbon footprint of the maritime transportation on the marine environment.
Next, we go to the background information that there are three keywords that we use to serve as a marker for us in obtaining information related to our research issue. The first is the carbon footprint. According to Wacana 2019, carbon footprint refers to the amount of polluted gases released into the Earth's atmosphere space caused by human activity. Human activity that causes carbon emission, such as vehicle emission, factory humus consumption, fossil fuel consumption, human respiration, and air condition. As a result, the local environment has been polluted because too many polluted gases are released, causing the Earth heat to not be released into the atmosphere, resulting in global warming. Therefore, several measures need to be enforced in controlling the level of carbon emission so that this issue can be resolved in order to avoid adverse effects to human environment that can affect their health. The second is marine transportation. Marine pollution is caused by sea transport as a result of the disposal of ship waste such as oil spill, plastic disposal, the use of electricity such as air conditioning and burning ash. The impact of the has led to damage to the marine environment as a result of oil spill and air pollution caused by the release of combustion ash. Uncontrolled release of carbon dioxide can result in the occurrence of greenhouse effect or global warming. According by Bionov 2016, a guess that the impact of sea transport will have a negative impact on the marine atmosphere and also have an impact on the sustainability of marine ecosystem. Well, according to Christie 2030, a guess that sea transport also contribute to air pollution, which is 33% and 3.3% consists of carbon dioxide emission. The third is the marine environment. Sea transport causes the release of polluted gas that affect the environment. For example, smoke emission containing carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide gas. Both of these gases causes the greenhouse effect and acid rain. According to UNESPA 2017, say that air pollution is caused by greenhouse gas emission containing CO2, methane CH4, nitrous oxide N20, and all these substances are released by sea freight. This pollution gas refer to the emission of smoke from ship, air conditioning system, fossil fuel, and so on. Therefore, preventive measures must be taken so that this issue can be overcome from future adverse effects on the state of the world environment.
Maritime transport was one of the important transportation for Malaysia international trade. From the figures show that the fleet growth rate increased from around 1.4% in 2019. Maritime transport can be said as more carbon efficient form of freight transportation compared to the road and air transportation. World Shipping Council and the member company was engagement in numerous efforts to reducing carbon dioxide and improve efficiency across the fleet. However, the increasing of maritime transport has also led to the increasing release of greenhouse gases, especially for carbon dioxide, which may harm the marine environment and marine life. The increases of carbon dioxide also mean to the increases of marine water temperature, which may disturb the growth performance of marine life like coral reef. Coral reef structure will be affected by the acidification of polluted water, which may lead to the increasing of erosion in its existing coral reef structures. Malaysia was rich with the marine resources because of the numerous islands and long coastline that located in the nation. Even though the nation's marine resources can be said as one of the most diverse and richest in the world, but at the same time, The marine environment was also exposed to various pollution which may affect the water quality. The national marine ecosystem were protected by the Malaysia Marine Water Quality Standard to sustain marine environment, and Malaysia Marine Water Quality Index was used to communicate with the relevant stakeholders and publish about the water quality status and marine water. Malaysia Marine Water Quality Standard was developed to focus on the protection of marine diversity and related ecological function of marine water, based on the predetermined classification of marine water, which comprised of 5 classes, included Class 1 Sensitive Marine Habitat, Class 2 Fishery, Class 3 Industrial Commercial Activity and Coast Settlement, and Class E Estuaries, and lastly Class Art Recreation.
Assalamualaikum. Next, I will present about the recommendations and way forward to reduce the carbon footprint of maritime transport operation on marine environment. First, recommendations and way forward is reduction of greenhouse gas emission from maritime transport operations. Maritime transport operations are one of the main activities that release a lot of greenhouse gas or pollutant gas such as sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, and so on into the atmosphere. To prevent this problem, one annex have been introduced in MAPOL, which is Annex 4, the regulation for the prevention of air pollution from ships. The purpose of Annex 4 is to minimize the emission of greenhouse gas or pollutant gas from ships into the air and set limits on the emission of greenhouse gas and pollutant gas such as sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide from ship into the air. Secondly, the government must provide the incentive to install scrubbers on the vessel. The government must take the best alternative, which is to install scrubbers on the vessel so that it can reduce the carbon footprint of maritime transport operation that can cause air pollution and also can affect on the marine environment. The purpose of installing scrubbers on the vessel is as a tool to control the release of pollutant gas such as sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide from ship into the air, because this gas can cause the air pollution that can affect on the marine environment. If there are scrubber on the vessel, it can limit the release of pollutant gas from ship into the air. Thirdly, using low sulfur fuel in vessel. When using low sulfur fuel in vessel, it can reduce the emissions of sulfur dioxide from ship into the air. The use of low sulfur fuel in the vessel can maintain good air quality without the release of many pollutant gas from vessel, and when air quality is in good condition, it will ensure the sustainability of the marine environment from being affected. After that, the use of low sulfur fuel in vessel also can further improve the efficiency of the vessel movement. Lastly, the recommendations and way forward is perform regular monitoring of maritime transport operation. The implementation of regular monitoring by authorities such as Marine Department at sea on the maritime transport operation is also one of the best steps to reduce the carbon footprint of maritime transport operation on marine environment and fauna. After that, regular monitoring activity can reduce the release of pollutant gas from ship into the air in large amount, and if there are regular monitoring activity, it can prevent the occurrence of illegal activity such as overfishing and destructive fishing, oil release at sea without permission, and so on.
My name is Wan Muhammad Adib Bewandaraman, metric number S55463. Today I will make a conclusion based on this topic, namely issues and challenges to reduce the carbon footprint of maritime transport operation on the marine environment. As we all know, maritime transport operations are very important sector for a country, especially our country, Malaysia. Maritime transport is also very important for international trade. There are many advantages to this water transport. Among of them are can carry a lot of cargo, cheap fare, no traffic congestions, many ship options suitable for carrying goods such as logs for vulnerable ships, and suitable for carrying container for cargo ships. However, there are also challenges in maritime transportation that can affect the fauna and environment. In this study, it can be concluded that there are many problems and challenges for maritime transportation to the marine environment. Among the maritime transportation factors that affect the marine environment are carbon footprint, marine transportation, and marine environment. As a small conclusion, these three factors greatly influence the faunal environment. This pollution will continue to occur if the right measures to address this problem are not taken. Therefore, every layer of society, such as the government sector, private sectors, NGOs, and many more should unite to take appropriate action to address this problem in the best possible way. In conclusion, various advantages are very achieved in the field of sea transport for economic progress. Therefore, there is also can impact behind such progress. Many marine habitats are affected due to the extreme and continuous human activity. Therefore, we as the responsible party must think for a way out to overcome this problem before it is too late. If these measures are successfully addressed wisely, then we can stabilize marine economic activities with the ecosystem involved.